There are reports of the New York Giants potentially being interested in Derek Carr via trade. What should the Saints want from this trade if it happens in terms of compensation, man?
What they should want is to hope that the Giants are stupid enough to trade for Derek Carr is really what they should
Agreed.
want.
Which I think they are. I think they are.
The Giants trading for Derek Carr is a win in of itself for the Saints, no matter what they get. I mean,
yeah.
Why? Like, you've got the 3rd pick in the draft, dude.
Yep.
Like, okay. I know that what the Giants have offensively pales in comparison to what the Commanders have offensively, and the Commanders don't really have that much offensively outside of Terry McLaurin. Like, there's been a lot of others who have just stepped up big time this year, but that offensive roster is not like eye-popping by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah.
Why, if you are the New York Football Giants, why would you turn down an opportunity to draft your franchise guy in favor of a guy in Derek Carr, who we've seen in this very position? He was in this very position in New Orleans and failed immensely. Like, why do you want that for yourself? Like what's the goal? Is the goal to trade for Derek Carr so you can use the 3rd overall pick on some other area that you need to improve? Like, if that's the goal, that's fine. But my rebuttal to you there is, we know that the most important position on the football field is the quarterback. Yep. And if I were to choose between Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders, or Derek Carr in the year of our Lord 2025, what are you talking about, bro? Now I get it, right? It's not a guarantee that you can get Cam or Shedeur, because you do have the Tennessee Titans and the Cleveland Browns that are ahead of you. But I've been kind of whispering after the course of the offseason, and at some point I'm going to dive in a little bit deeper. I don't think it's a guarantee that both of those teams are going to draft a quarterback. I don't think it's a guarantee. I do think that Deshaun Watson's time in Cleveland is done. I do think that wholeheartedly, especially with the Achilles tear. But maybe they go out there and they try to go get a Kirk Cousins instead of trying to go draft a quarterback at number 2. Same thing for Tennessee. We've seen Tennessee draft quarterbacks in, back-to-back drafts now. They drafted Will Levis last year. They drafted
Malik Willis and then Will Levis.
That. I highly doubt the Tennessee Titans are going to be drafting another quarterback at number 1. They could, but I don't think they will. Right? Yeah. I think it's more likely that they look at a guy, and I think it's more likely that they go try to get Travis Hunter and bring him to be Will Levis's premier weapon than they go out and just draft a quarterback again for the 3rd year in a row. But like, at some point, they're going to commit to developing a quarterback. So there's hope. Like, there's 100% hope for you to get a quarterback potentially in this draft. Here's a grand idea. Rather than trying to trade for an aging quarterback with more games behind of him than ahead of him, who's never been to a playoffs, why don't we try to compete and trade up? Why don't we try to get the 2nd pick? Why don't we try to get the 1st pick and make sure that you can get it? Like, I don't understand what's happening. I was confused when they kept Brian Daboll and Joe Schoen to be the GM, but now I'm really confused as to why they think it's a better idea to go get Derek Carr, and just go get one of these young rookies. Like, I don't really understand the thought process there. But again, we are talking about the New York Football Giants, and they haven't really been good at all. So I guess it all makes sense. But that one, I saw that one. It was a true head scratcher for me. I got to be honest.
Yeah, same. And a lot of the same points that you said, are they really stupid enough to trade for a guy in Derek Carr who just came off the season-ending injury? Now, it was on his non-throwing hand, but 10 years in, you're leaping for a first down when you've never been a mobile quarterback. Your toughness, yes, has been on display, but you've got to understand the situation that you're in. And I mean, very good points there as well. Being that 3rd overall pick, are they looking at Cam? Are they looking at Shedeur? Are they looking at possibly Travis Hunter? They 100% have a gander at one of those 3 guys. In terms of compensation for the Saints, I think they should get at least a 3rd or a 4th round pick out of it, if not one of each. We know that Derek Carr is not a great quarterback. We would say that he's maybe a good quarterback on his best days, but he's never going to get to the level of great. Whether we like to say it or not, Derek Carr is a starting level quarterback in the NFL. Whether you put him on the 15 to maybe not even 15, 18 to maybe the 23rd, 24th best quarterback in the league, he still is a starter for one of 32 NFL teams. So those jobs are very rare within itself. I think all things considered there, a 3rd or 4th, maybe a 5th. The Saints need to get some sort of compensation out of it for sure, though. I don't think it should be a matter of cash in a trade.
Round pick for Derek Carr would be
like gold.
It would be highway robbery.
Yeah,
it would be highway robbery if
Hmm.
the New York Giants said, yes, we will give you a third round pick for Derek Carr in
Hmm.
2020, that would be high. I can't even believe that. I mean, again, I can because it's the Giants, but like, I can't believe we're talking about Derek Carr being traded for a third round pick.
Yeah.
That's nuts to me. I only
Yeah.
the Giants would entertain such foolishness. Only the
Yeah.
Giants would do this.
Yeah, yeah, very true, very true. And I think the Saints have to entertain it to the fullest extent. If not a third or a fourth, fourth to a fifth. I don't think anything worse than a fifth realistically, because again, Derek Carr,
Yeah.
for the Giants standards, could be a savior from Daniel Jones. It could be a savior from Drew Lock through all of the quarterback turmoil that they've went through since Eli Manning has retired and left the franchise. But the Saints have to ensure that they get some sort of compensation for him. They're going to have to eat the money. They've been suffering for the last couple of years with Derek Carr. Oddly enough, Derek Carr has thrown 3 pick sixes with the New Orleans Saints in his career. I have been there in person to watch every single one. And it's been heartbreaking. It's been absolutely heartbreaking. I mean, when we play the Bengals, it was on Thursday Night Football a couple seasons ago, he threw a pick six there. And both times that I've watched Derek Carr take on the Falcons in Atlanta, he has also thrown a pick six there. So it's horrible, absolutely horrible to see. But if the Giants want to come and take that off our hands, that's totally fine. In terms of why the Giants would possibly want to do this, the only thing I could maybe think of, besides them being idiots, is the fact that they want a possible mentor for Shador, for Cam Ward, or, their number 3 pick, which is more than likely going to be a quarterback. I don't know how they can shy away from that. And if they move up, then it's definitely going to be a quarterback, no question about it. We kind of see this formula of letting quarterbacks sit and be mentored in the league, or having those delayed first starts, whether it's a Drake May, whether it's multiple team quarterback, kind of a journeyman and a Baker or a Sam that has went to an organization that has been a fit for them. And no, that's not the exact same situation here, but that's the only thing I could think of that, why would the Giants want to do this? Because there's no way that they look at Derek Carr and think that he is a franchise quarterback or even can be a bridge quarterback. He's strictly had to be, veteran deal, even though he says he's not going to take a pay cut because of what he's put on tape. Okay, I think you're saying that because the Saints are horrible with managing their money and they might give you what you want. But the Spencer Rattler is still in the building. You could possibly go get a quarterback later in this draft. I'd love for us to draft a quarterback of the future up front, but we need offensive line, defensive line, very bad, wide receiver, running back as well. Let's build from that inside out. Maybe we could get a Kirk Cousins to come over. I'm not too interested in a Sam Darnold or maybe some of these other journeyman quarterbacks, but that's the only conclusion I can really draw, is that the Giants would want to do this for a mentor for their number 3 pick, number 2, number 1 pick if they trade up. But would you really want Derek Carr mentoring your future? I mean, let's just ask that honest question. A guy who's been in the league for a decade, who has not won a playoff game, who has looked pretty rough the last couple of seasons with the Saints. Yeah, you can say what you want about the numbers, but I've watched every game of Derek Carr in a New Orleans uniform, and I'm more than ready for him to go. Again, the team that believed in him and drafted him, they didn't trade him. They didn't mutually part ways. They didn't kiss you on the forehead and say, see you later. They cut you. They said, we don't want you with the franchise anymore. That says a lot when a team just releases you and lets you go. Because sometimes they try to work out a trade. They try to honor your last request like it's possibly a last meal for you or something. No, that was not the case with Derek Carr and the Raiders. So Giants definitely have me scratching my head. But, all I'm going to do is cross my, put my hands together and pray that the Giants are silly enough to save us from the silliest mistake that we've made in a while, signing Derek Carr to a $150+ million contract a couple of seasons ago.
Hey, it's AJL here. Appreciate you sticking to the end of the video here on YouTube. You could have chose any other show, but you chose my video, and for that, I'm very grateful. If you haven't already, please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Follow me on social media. Hit the bell on the channel so you never miss a post. Check me out on all social media platforms. Right here, you'll find a chance to subscribe to the show, a related video, and a playlist. See you guys in the next one.